You're listening to Entrepreneurs Club Radio. This is Kip Marlow talking, your host today. And we have on the phone with us Mr. Frank Manning from Manning & Manning, a law firm near Cleveland, Ohio. And Frank, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm delighted that you're here. We had talked to Brian Torno earlier on what kind of insurance you need when you have a startup, and we want to talk to you. But what are the legal documents you need? What do you need to be careful of before you start your company?
Well, the foundation of starting a company is actually create a company, create an entity, be it a LLC, limited liability company, or a subchapter S corporation.
Gotcha.
But to actually create the entity, and in creating it, when you do create it, be sure that you're using the name and your title properly. And
gotcha.
That's the essentials.
Now, okay. Now, just like in insurance, aren't there certain things you've got to be careful of? Like, for example, John Allen is on the line from he started a company with one snowplow in Erie, Pennsylvania, and built it into over a $40 million a year company. And, of course, his idea of insurance was liability. What would you tell John to start with other than creating that entity? Good contracts with your suppliers. Good,
Oh, absolutely. I guess the most important thing in a circumstance like that is, and it's a simple, and we've all heard it before, but it's absolutely the foundation is sign nothing, not having read it. Because when you start a business, everybody else has their contract they're going to offer you. And it's also, that's a less expensive way to start, is to look at the contracts people are offering you. Your supplier has an application for a credit line of credit so
Sure.
you can buy products from them.
Sure.
Read it. Understand it. Know what it says. Don't just blindly sign away at it. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, particularly at the beginning of a business, is instead of taking the document saying, okay, let me go review these and I'll come back with you, and after I've had an opportunity to review, there's a little bit of insecurity. So would you say, oh yeah, if you're willing to supply me, I'll sign whatever you have here.
There you go.
And you don't remember what you signed. Most often, people don't remember that they signed anything, but to the extent they remember they signed anything, they have no idea what it says.
Frank, I'm guilty. I've done that in the past. I have done that. I mean, it's like, let's get it over with. Let's just get it signed and go, because I don't want to spend $200 with my attorney. And really, that's a stupid decision. Spend the money and make sure it's right.
Well, because it's the foundational steps you're taking. If you're talking to that supplier and you just began a business, that supplier is very important to your business. You're going to be doing whatever it is that they, in the snowplow business, he must buy salt to put on parking lots. He's going to be buying salt for as long as he's using the business. So understand where the foundation of that relationship comes from, and look at whether or not you're personally liable for the debt that you're accruing, or
Gotcha.
what are the terms on payment,
Yes.
or how much are you assuming you're going to take such a quantity of salt for a particular year, and if you don't use it all, you have to pay for it anyway.
Gotcha.
Things like that. And when you're beginning a business, you're just happy people want to do business with you.
That's right.
The entrepreneur mentality is to forge ahead no matter what.
Yeah, forget about the details.
Right.
That's our mentality. There's no question.
So that comes back to finding someone who's willing to spend a little energy on the details. If you're one of those people who can't stand the thought of sitting in a chair and reading a 2-page document, find someone who will for you.
Gotcha.
Because there's a lot of value to that.
Frank Manning, Manning-law.com. Frank, thanks so much for being with us. I really appreciate it. Always good to have you on the show, and always good information.
Well, thank you, Kip. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself.
We will.